Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill, Director of Detroit Business Hub Group. Welcome to the Detroit Business Hub Group podcast. Listen to business professionals share their expertise to help you start and accelerate your business. Invest in your business now.
I'm Nancy O'Neill. I'm the Director of the Detroit Business Hub Group. In this segment, we're going to talk about access to capital. I'm here with Mike Rizzo. Mike, would you like to introduce yourself again?
Yeah, sure. I'm Michael Rizzo. I'm one of the men in charge of Rizzo Creative Services Company, RizzoRizzo.com or IZCO.com. And I'm here because I know a little something about the current situation in terms of disaster capital. I'm not a financial person, but I am a small business owner, and I might have some useful assets.
Okay, sounds great. Excuse me.
Sure.
Okay, so Mike, why don't you just give us some background on your experience with the EDLI loan and PPP?
Absolutely.
You said you've received both of those.
Yeah. So Rizzo is an, hey, fingers crossed, an operating marketing agency in Southeast Michigan, and we're doing some pretty good business right now, all things considered. Mm-hmm. But I would like to take advantage of both the PPP and EIDL programs. In the case of PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, that was, it is a loan that can be forgiven. So effectively becomes a grant where I was given money from the government in order to kind of get me through the hump there when things immediately were shut down due to quarantine. And then I also filed for and received an EIDL loan, economic emergency disaster loan. Economic income disaster? Impact disaster. It was one of them. That's okay.
I can give the official acronym term. I
get it. What matters though is
you got the money. That's what
I got the money. And with EIDL, that is a loan. That is not forgivable. That is a credit line I'm going to pay back to the federal government. And in all previous kind of circumstances that would trigger an EIDL situation, and that was like a huge disaster,
right.
Hurricane, tornado, website business.
Right.
This is the first time that, the pandemic and the kind of general economic downturn has been able to give options to small business owners like yourself. So I've got a pretty decent credit line at 3.75%, which is not nothing, but I've got a year to kind of make sure the cash flow gets back to where I can pay that. I also received a $1,000 grant through the IDO. When that program started, it was going to be $10,000.
Yeah.
They walked that back down to $1,000.
$1 is not, I'm
not complaining.
Yeah, exactly. We'll take free money anytime. It's economic injury disaster.
There.
I said
I would have got it if there wasn't a camera.
That's fine. I messed that up several times during the April webinars, so it's okay. All right. So due to COVID-19, what are some of the current trends regarding access to capital and cash flows to today's marketplace that you've experienced?
So, trying not to get the list, but when the situation became what it was, the government moved at a certain pace to put together programs, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, expand the way that that capital was accessible to business owners. And I can't complain in that I was able to access both these programs. Now, the first round of PPP funding was here and gone pretty quickly. I did not get my PPP loan until the second round of funding came through. But I found that the process was reasonably straightforward. Did not take too much in terms of directory. I'm, again, not a financial expert or an accountant, but I was able to get my books and my application form put together relatively quickly. And I'm very satisfied customer. Flagstar Bank, they were able to take care of me.
Okay, sounds great. Now, is Flagstar your regular bank that you normally bank?
They're my business bank. I have a checking account, personal checking account, in addition to my business checking account. But see, I like them because, and this is anecdotal, I am not an expert, but it seemed to me like local banks were in a better position to partner with their business customers and get access to capital faster than a Bank of America or a Chase, which are just bigger institutions with a great deal many customers. Right. So they only had so many resources available. Every single business owner across America all went running for PPP money at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but anyone who had an existing banking relationship, they were inundated with every single customer coming in to do this.
Right.
I was thankful that Jessica, my banker at Flagshare, was able to work with me directly and got me the right people and got going.
Sounds good. All right. So, have you obtained any other loans or grants available due to COVID-19?
So I've been hearing that there might be another round of PPP funding. I don't know a lot about that yet. And again, I wouldn't be the expert on it, but I'll be keeping an eye out because as someone who's proudly paid taxes for all of the years I've been in business, I'll take any help I can get under the circumstances. And any smart business owner should be keeping an eye on what their options are under these circumstances, especially when, Shake Shack took a lot of that money. All these restaurants, all these corporations, get in there, man.
Shake Shack
They give
gave
it
their
back.
money
They give it back.
They did. They were one of the good ones. They actually gave money back. Yeah, I think Harper has like $100 million endowment. Like, they don't really need money from the government right now. So I think they gave the money back too. But yeah. So we just finished the Lake Trust crowdfunding campaign, which was actually, I thought it was like a one-to-one loan grant. I found out from Nicole, who is, she's the one that told us about the Lake Trust campaign. It was all grant money. So it's like, you mean we don't even have to pay half of it back? She's like, no. She's like, crowdfunding paid half of it and we paid the rest. So I was like, that was a free $2,000. I was super excited about that because I'm like, most of the time we see these programs for like nonprofits, but it's very rare that you see the government or anybody else like giving businesses money.
Sure.
So that was
That's great.
Wonderful. Yeah. So Mike was major in helping us reach that goal.
It helps.
Okay, so are there other ways I can leverage my business in today's marketplace? I know that we were able also to obtain like a PayPal business line that helped with some operating expenses. We talked off air, we talked about leveraging our business income a little bit. So do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, that's really just a question of how I'm using that EIDL.
Yeah.
So Paycheck Protection Program, the idea there is that you continue to make payroll as you were doing beforehand and continue to employ people as you. With the EIDL, you have to be really careful about what you use that money for. I can't go out and buy new cameras or anything silly like that or frivolous. It's got to be about maintaining continuity of employment for myself and my people and then paying them bills. But for a small business like mine, where cash flow is really dependent on when projects get completed and projects get paid by customers, it does give me that pad where I'm not necessarily waiting for a check to clear from an invoice or product or service. I can be continuing to pay myself and my contractors on time without necessarily having to worry about when's this project going to get funded. And it just gives me the flexibility to pay myself first, to continue to float those contracts and let them pay themselves out at their regular need.
And that is something I think that is a major issue with small businesses and even going up to medium-sized businesses is cash flow. Having those funds in, I know I had to wait, I had delayed a few payments this month just because we were waiting on getting the funding from Lake Trust. So it's something, it kind of puts you in a really awkward position because like I hate paying bills late and I'm like, well, the funds aren't in the account yet. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
And that's another option that small business owners have to look back at their network, to look back at where their expenses are, and see what options are out there. So as a creative professional, I pay a certain amount of money every month to Adobe for their Creative Cloud software. And I was able to get a few months free just by calling them and saying, hey, COVID-19, what can you do for me? And I got 3 months free of my Adobe Creative Cloud subscription. Was there a great deal of economic hurt there? Was I really in trouble? Well, no, but I've also been paying about $55 a month every month for 10 years now, and I don't for a second feel bad about them giving me a couple months free every month. And there's a lot of that going around. Every single credit card company I deal with has been really gracious about, hey, if you need some kind of consideration, get in touch. And I haven't had to make any of those calls. but all of our partners, and it is a partnership, we're in business, working with a lot of different people, a lot of different levels. I think we're all kind of banding together in this to try and get through it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with working whatever angles you have, whatever options are available to you to make business run smoothly these days.
Yeah, yeah. I was just looking at a program that works with, it's a cash flow forecasting tool, and it's excellent because it lets you know you have to put all of your monthly expenses in an Excel sheet, and then it shows you the cash you're inputting into the Excel sheet, how much cash you have coming in. I'm just trying to figure out who sent me this so I can let you guys know. How much cash you are putting into the system so that you're not kind of stuck, in that awkward position where, the funds aren't here right now for me to be able to pay this bill. And like you said, it gives you a little bit of that cushion. So, yeah, it's a very, very nice tool. Let me see. I can tell you in a second.
Yeah, absolutely, go for it. And I think for all of us small business owners that are using clever tricks, it is also just fundamentally, none of us have the wiggle room to not be very, very careful about how we spend our money and being smart about what we do on a daily basis and what's going on. Because especially in my line of work with creative services and with video, especially, you can get way too many gadgets and spend a lot of money on gadgets.
Well, the other thing too is like you have, I would say you're one of more of the higher end expenses in marketing. So in your term, like you could just do one project in a month. Well, you want to get paid because essentially that could be your only customer for that month. And that can really put you in a deep hole. If that person, is on this like it's like you've got a whole month of bills that you need to pay.
Well, and like our friend Greg who got started selling vehicles. Anyone who sold cars for any period of time understands that there's those feast and famine periods where you wind up on a cold streak where it's 30 or 45 days where things get pretty cold out there.
Same with real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I know what you mean. Goldman Sachs is the name of that program that has that forecasting.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, they did a free seminar with one of the small business organizations I was working with, and they offered us a free webinar. So.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Yeah, I'll forward it to you.
Please do.
Yeah. Next question. So we talked about ways that we can leverage our income or revenue. What are some other suggestions that we can do with the current pandemic that we're facing right now?
Well, I think once you've done everything you can to get working capital from those government relief programs and what little we can do to get a little bit of relief from the people who work with on a daily basis, we've all got to be looking at our business models as they relate to our current situation and see about what you can tweak and what you can be doing a little bit differently. And pivot how you do business on a day-to-day basis, take advantage or accommodate circumstances. I spoke a little in the last webinar that we had about how the direction for my business has changed over the last 90, 120 days to be a lot more web focused. Because I have customers that would have had a presence at the North American International Auto Show had there been North American International Auto Show.
That was a big hit to the entire Detroit economy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But for anyone who would have been operating booths and having an in-person presence, well, you've got to figure out a way to go online and have the same level of polish and impact employees that you would have had if you were in person. I talk about all the different levels of video content, how we've got really polished stuff, we've got stuff that's more casual like this.
Right.
This is great for having a conversation with somebody, but when it comes to making sales, you got to be a little bit more polished than you call. And in those circumstances, that's where I'm getting customers sitting these really fancy live streams. And it can feel ostentatious until again you're thinking about, well, this is what we're doing instead of going to the auto show and having crazy booths and all this. And that's obviously, that's my business and everybody else is different. But things are changing in the marketplace right now. And you've got to be conscious of it and working proactively to take advantage of what we can and keep things rolling.
Gotcha.
That's about all I got.
No, that's okay. I'm sorry, I'm trying to locate the questions again.
Okay.
So it's throwing my, this off a little bit, so yeah. Okay, I was just gonna comment on the auto show that there were, restaurants, so I hear they actually went out of business over that, because it was such a major part of
It's
their
a huge boom period
Yeah.
for a lot of different industries that work in support of that.
Yeah.
And it's, those major events, it's not just about the industry that it claims to serve. It's all the other industries that have come to expect that. There'll be a lot of people from out of town during the hotel industry, the restaurant and hospitality industry, marketing and advertising, video. All of my broadcasting people who expected to be down there shooting for days to cover packages for the various different news networks. And a lot of it, it's staggering the impact that has on.
It's like a ripple effect.
Oh, huge ripple.
Yeah, and I think some people who were normally expecting that income in January, they're like, okay, maybe I can float possibly until we have it in June. But then when it got canceled in June, they're like, forget it. I'm just going out of business. I'm like, never mind. This is not even worth that hassle, that all that I'm going through. It's like you can only, float for so long. At some point you have to start to get some revenue coming in. So, and then when COVID hit, it's like, some of the restaurants weren't even open, or they were only open for carry out. And just since we're talking about restaurants, I just want to say too, like, a lot of the restaurants downtown are park bars. So most of their income is coming off of liquor. Well, when you can't take the liquor out of the restaurant and you can't sit in the restaurant, that took out a large part of the revenue as well.
But back to my point about the pivot. Look at all these high-end restaurants that switch to cash and carry, so they're selling some of that alcohol stuff, or have effectively become very fancy grocery stores selling interesting mixes of products that they had in the kitchen. And have made, they're not making close to the business they were making as a restaurant, but they're able to stay around and keep operating by kind of switching their business model to be something that makes sense for the town. And there's definitely a lot of people who are going to sadly lose their businesses because of the circumstances, and nothing they could have done to fix it.
I recently wrote a book called Fire Your Job, Be Your Own Boss. And from the book, I realized that a lot of business owners, especially new business owners, they need help. They don't necessarily know all the ins and outs of business because it's new to them and they're on a learning curve. Because as a business owner, you're not just selling your product or concept, you're also running the business. So you're in charge of human resources, people calling, customer complaints. You're in charge of product quality. You're in charge of people management, hiring staff, payroll. So these are all parts of owning your own business. It's not just the product or service that you're offering. You can either choose to hire people to do those things, but most of the time with new business owners, they do it themselves. The Hub Group comes in to help because we are a group of business professionals. We own our own businesses, and we can help you put those pieces together. So the benefit of the Hub Group is that you have access to 8 to 9 different professionals who on your own, if you were to go to them, more than likely you could not afford them. We're offering you these products at a discounted rate in order to help you grow your business.
Working on your business, unlike working in your business, working on your business is planning time. Taking the opportunity to realize you need just as much time to plan the access to your business as you do working in the business. In other words, how are you going to get customers to come to your business? That's working on your business. Working in your business is servicing those customers.
We have about 8 group members, and everyone has a specialty that they do as a business owner to help new business owners get off the ground.
Frequently, the difference between a new business succeeding and failing is the expertise they're able to bring to the problems that confront every business. The Hub Group brings you into contact with people who are not only capable of doing the work, but have the experience in the fields that you're working in and are actually interested in helping startups. It's very different working with a startup than it is working with a more mature company.
For Dimensions Consulting Group is an HR firm. What I learned being in a nonprofit is that a lot of small business owners don't have HR departments and they don't have the resources to bring on an HR professional. So we offer services such as HR compliance, consulting, organizational assessments, and training, amongst many other HR-related issues.
Everybody has a different kind of skill set and different wheelhouse and so forth. So I think where I've perhaps excelled is just salesmanship. Sold vehicles for 10, 12 years. Going back to when I was 19 years old, I mean, the skills that I've learned and acquired kind of still serves me to this day. I maintain relationships, how important integrity is, how important your word is. You know, I have clients who purchased when I was 20, 21 years old, okay, bought a vehicle from me, who are clients to this day, and they trust me with their, you know, be it a retirement account.
So with the media side, I create content for social media outlets. So I create their templates, I create their photography, posts, videos, commercials, and promotional videos. And I also do photography for their services only. On the marketing side, I teach and train business owners and entrepreneurs how to market their business online. And along with that, I do one-on-one coaching, I do consultations, I do anything following along with helping them market their brand and business. In the market, as far as digital marketing and advertisement, things are changing swiftly. Very important for you to upgrade your business right now on the marketing and advertisement rim.
Ashton Business Consulting is a full-service CPA firm. I provide accounting, bookkeeping, and advisory services to small businesses, nonprofits, and individuals. For businesses starting out, day one, you need to set up a solid accounting system. Okay? You have to understand where your expenses are going. And you need to understand where your revenue comes from, not only from a management perspective, but also from a tax perspective.
So the most important thing that no business owner realizes when they get started is the cost of doing business. I work with helping business owners write their business plan and also decide on what type of business entity they want to start with. You can purchase 2 packages through the Hub Group. One is a starter package, and that is with me helping you form your business plan and also deciding which business entity you're going to select. I also help you file the paperwork with the state as well as get your EIN number. We have 7 other professionals who all have their own specialties. So that could be real estate, that can be insurance, that could be legal services, that can be HR services. So by the time that you start your business on day one or opening day, you have a thorough understanding of what you're getting yourself into. You have a game plan, which is your business plan. Your business entity is set up so you won't be getting in trouble with taxes. And you're going to have everything that you need to successfully start your business.
I woke up this morning thinking about how am I going to grow my business in 2020? How do I want us to grow? I got up at 5 a.m., left the bedroom, went and sat at the kitchen table, and started writing ideas down. I've done this for the last 20 years. Whenever it hits me, I plan. So that's that part of planning, to work on your business instead of in your business. I got up, went to the table, and I put down what did I make in 2019, what did I make in 2018, 2017, because what that tells me is a trend as to what the possibilities are. So I set what I call my realistic goal, and then I had what we call our stretch goal. So I set a stretch goal in there. So my stretch goal, if I hit that, I'm gonna be super, super happy. But if I hit my minimum goals, I will take care of my 10 employees, they will go on vacations, we will all do well. So minimum is still gonna allow me to live a great life. But the stretch is a game changer.
If you're ready to jumpstart your business in 2020, hire the Detroit Business Hub Group and go to my website at nancyo'neil.com. Thank you for joining us today. Detroit Business Hub Group is committed to your success. Go to nancyo'neil.com/DBHG for business tips, blogs, videos, and virtual classes. Watch your investment pay off.